Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel. I feel like this is probably the loudest that I have talked in this whole video, and excuse the fan in the background because the fan does make a lot of noise. This is the look that we're going to go ahead and do today. I am going to zoom in on the eyes just a little bit, that way y'all can go ahead and see it a little bit better. But like I said, this is the look that we're going to go ahead and do today. It is a simple, I try to keep it very simple, but it's a simple glam look that I like to do mostly every single time that I go out. Sometimes I pair it up with this specific lip shade and sometimes I don't. Just go ahead and keep that in mind. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like this video if you do like it. Go ahead and leave that thumbs up for me. As well as don't forget to follow me on my Instagram and Twitter at Ariel Celeste. I am going to go ahead and throw out there the products that I did use before. I know that I said I did my brows and my wing and part of my eyes off camera, but I did not mention the products that I used. So with my brows, I did the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow definer in the shade medium brown. For priming and carving out my eyebrows, I did use the BH Total Coverage Concealer in the shade 104. And for my wing, I went ahead and I used the Lottie London Duo Stamp Liner. Okay guys, so I went ahead and I did my brows, I primed my eyelids, and I did my wing off camera. Disclaimer, I always like to do my wing before I do my shadow. That way it kind of helps outline the wing later, because I do not like going over my shadow with eyeliner to do it, because I always mess up my wing whenever I try to do that because I feel like I'm under pressure. So what we're going to do today, like I said before, is kind of just a simple glam. I'm going to try to keep it really simple for you. Like I've said in my previous videos, I do not like to do go in and make a look very complex, especially whenever I'm explaining it. I'm just going to go ahead and go in with the Morphe by Jaclyn Hill palette. This is literally the only palette that I really use, and I think it's because this is more of a palette that has every shade range in it. And I would say if you are a beginner, or if you want a palette with a good range of colors, I would say definitely get the Jaclyn Hill palette by Morphe, or Morphe by Jaclyn Hill, just because it has a lot of different colors. Okay, so what we're going to do and what we're going to start off with is we're just going to start off with this color right here, like always. I always use this color as a really good base and transition color in my crease. Every time I take my brush off my eye, I am picking up more product. I'm just going to put that disclaimer out there, that way I don't have to put it in the video. And what you're going to do is just windshield wiper motions, sticking that in the crease. It is okay if it goes past the crease, and what I'm doing is kind of buffing it out just a little bit. The next color that we are going to go in with is this color right here, and we're just going to barely tap into it and buff it into the crease as well. What we're going to go ahead and pick up is the shade, this shade directly under it. So it's going to be kind of like this little red shade. And guys, most of the time I do use the exact same brush. I do not use any other brushes, but this is just a small Morphe blending brush. I don't really go back and forth between different brushes. I really just keep it on that one brush. And we are just going to add that in. And what that is going to do is just really start to build the color. tap into this red shade. It's more like a between of a really dark red purple and a red. I'm gonna try to get a little bit closer. It's kind of what it looks like. It's not too red. Do not let the camera deceive you. It is not too red. And we're kind of just going to put this on the lid, but also blend it in. With this look especially, I do not like to keep it really dark. I always like to add the red in. So after all this, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut the crease. Like always, I'm going to use this Studio Pro by BH Cosmetics Total Coverage Concealer. So I'm actually going to go ahead and just grab the regular brush that I normally use, which is just a simple concealer brush. I was going to try to use the angle brush, but that did not work how I planned. Going back in with the same brush that we've been using. The next color that we're going to pick up is going to be more like a mauve purple shade, kind of like the same shade as my shirt, kind of like a wine color, and we're just going to toss it into the outer crease. Make sure that you tap off the excess that is on your brush. And we are just going to ever so lightly buff it in the crease. And it is perfectly okay if it goes over the cut crease that we just made. During this part of the video, I'm just simply buffing out the shadow. I never once picked up more of the like plum looking color, just because I realized once I put it on that it was way too much. So right now I'm just basically diffusing the shadow that is already on the lid. The next thing that we are going to go ahead and do is we're just going to take a very small shader brush, this as well as a Morphe brush. What we are going to go ahead and do is we're just going to pick up this shade first, and we're just going to put it on the brush. I did not wet the brush. We are just going to put it in the corner, the inner corner, and just lightly pat it in there. And if it goes over the purple, that is completely. And we're just going to kind of pat it just a little bit over the purple. Do not go in all the way, because what we're going to do is we're kind of going to blend it together. So once again, I'm telling y'all, every single time that y'all put on a new color, we're literally just taking the same brush that we did before and just blending it again. So after you go ahead and you put that white shade down, this is the moment where you're going to go ahead and do your wing. The liner that I'm using is the Lottie London Stamp liner. So so being serious, guys. If y'all have never tried the trick of doing your wing before you do your eyeshadow, I would definitely try it because it helps so much whenever it comes down to doing your wing, because literally you already have like a layout of where your wing is at. So what we are going to do next is we're just going to go ahead and do our lashes. I am going to go ahead and do my lashes off camera, and I am going to use the Ardell lashes in style 811. These are just my go-to lashes. They look, I'm going to try to show y'all. So they're kind of like a more, they are Mink. They're Ardell's Faux Mink, but they're just more kind of like a fluffier lash. I am currently looking for a more fluffier lash, so if y'all have any suggestions on lashes, just please leave them down below or comment on a picture on my Instagram and say like hey, or tweet me. Okay guys, so I am back from putting on my lashes, and the next thing that we are going to go ahead and do is our face. Like always, to go ahead and prime and moisturize my face, I am going to use the Pond's Nourishing Cream Moisturizer. Guys, so for foundation, we are going to use the Bare Minerals Fresh Face Made to Fit foundation. If y'all want a video on how this foundation, like dedicated to this foundation, please let me know. Honestly guys, I love this foundation so much. Like it really is my go-to. So I'm going to go ahead and take a beauty blender to pat this in. I have tried using brushes before to do my makeup for foundation, and I haven't found a good brush. Guys, if y'all know any brushes, like foundation brushes that are really good, please, like seriously, please let me know. I am looking into getting new brushes anyways, because lately my Morphe brushes have been stabbing me and irritating my eyes so bad whenever I'm using them, literally for anything. I think the bristles are kind of like wearing out. So if y'all know any brushes that work really well, please let me know. Like comment them somewhere, tweet me or something, because I really like I said, I really need new brushes. I've had these brushes probably for about 2 years already, and at this point it's not cutting it. We're going to go in with is the BH Total Coverage Concealer in shade 104. Guys, ever since I found this concealer, thanks to Daisy Marquez, I have been using it like crazy. I think the same weekend that I saw her video and she did like a full face of BH products, I have not. Like that weekend I went out and bought this concealer, and I have not been able to put it down ever since. I know that a lot of people use concealer not to so much conceal but more so to highlight, but for me, I honestly conceal because I have redness all under my eyes as well as my T-zone and down here as well. So really it kind of just works for me in that sense to conceal rather than to go ahead and use it to highlight. And if y'all have not used this concealer, I would definitely say try it. I know that I think it's about $6 or $8. I got mine at Ulta because on the BH Cosmetics like website, it was completely sold out in my shade. product that we're going to go ahead and use is the Ciate London Bamboo Bronzer in Palm Island. I've said this before, guys. I am on a hunt for a new bronzer, so if y'all have any recommendations for bronzer, please let me know, because literally I'm out. I am like completely out of bronzer, and I have not been able to find a new one. It is really hard for me to find a good bronzer. We are going to do the highlight. Like always, I am taking the Mannakadar, I think it's like their mineral powder, the split pan in the shade Radiance, and I'm just taking a simple, bigger, fluffy brush. I do not use a highlighting brush or anything like that. Just taking a simple, fluffy brush, and I am going to go ahead and just put that there on the apples of my cheeks. And then I'm also going to take the BH Cosmetics brush in number 24. It's more so a kind of like flat brush, and I am going to go ahead and put that in my brow bone as well as the inner corner of my eye. The next thing that we're going to go ahead and do is lips. We are going to use the Colourpop Satin Liquid Lipstick in the shade Prim. So guys, I am back from putting on my lipstick. So like I've said before, I just went ahead and used the Colourpop Satin Liquid Lipstick in the shade Prim. If you honestly feel like this shade is too dark for this look, you can always use a different shade. I just go ahead and always just pair off this shade, just because it is a wine color and it kind of does match the whole look. Like I said, you do not have to use this shade. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. So thank y'all so much for watching and following along. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. As well as don't forget to follow me on my social media at Ariel Celeste on Instagram and Twitter. They are both the same usernames. And like always, I'll go ahead and catch you on the next one.